Hi everyone, welcome back. So for the last challenge statement of the day, we have got Mr. Rashid here. He will be sharing about seeking technologies for mining companies to manage task and inventory. So Mr. Rashid is from the Nursultan Nazabayev Foundation. So before he introduces his statement, I'd like to share about how the session will work for the benefit of those who have just joined us. So it will be a 15-minute session for Mr. Rashid to share about the challenge proposal, the motivation for the statement, the desired outcomes, and the expectations for startups. And the next 15 minutes will be a Q&A session. So I'd like to encourage participants and attendees to take this opportunity to send in your questions, because this session will also help you to better refine your statements, your challenge proposals. And if there are any questions that you'd like to ask, you can type your questions or clarifications into the Q&A function to make sure that you get your grounds covered. And all participants' microphones and video cameras are muted and disabled. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Mr. Rashid, please.
Hello, thank you, Charmaine. Hello, everyone. I am Rashid Dusimbayev from Nursultan Nazabayev Foundation. I am responsible for all innovation programs under our foundation. Our foundation is one of the leading institutions in Central Asia that promotes innovations, especially open innovations. We help corporates engage startups. So that's why this challenge is quite interesting for us. So, and we are waiting for interesting solutions that we can match with big mining companies in Kazakhstan. So, Kazakh economy is mainly based on exporting of oil and gas and minerals, metals. That's why a big part of our economy are mining companies. So, and our foundation has a good network with mining companies. That's why we decided to propose this problem statement, especially for mining companies. So let me share my screen. Okay, so we are looking for the technology for the platform for mining companies that we can help mining companies to track and monitor special clothing for the workers, for the employees. Okay, why this challenge? We see now that during COVID, the pressure on even high on safety standards. So when you work on in a mining company, safety standards already quite high and quite strict. But during COVID, during pandemic and all these quarantine measures, we see those pressure is even higher now. So in order to track and monitor very effectively, you need to digitalize it. So that's why our problem statement is this. So briefly, we have about 500 mining companies in Kazakhstan, and quite big ones are our partners. And if we get interesting solution for pilot, we will match you with such big corporates like ERG, like Kazakhmys. That companies are leading in their fields. Like, for example, ERG has about 20 companies only in Kazakhstan and also in Africa and other countries. So what we are looking for? We are seeking for automated system for monitoring and tracking special uniforms, special clothing. So in order to understand what kind of solution we are looking for, let me tell you about, you can see on the screen, you can see the requirements. So the requirements, I put it quite in detail, that you can see the modules of the blocks of this system that we are looking for. So, okay, it's you have to include the employer personal card or any other solution that we can check that the employer check in, check out. Then a special big part, it will be the tracking of the special uniform of the employer. Usually every employer in mining company get about 25 items of uniform and some personal equipment. And all of these items has their own demands for how many days the employee can use it. For example, one item they have to change every day. Other items they have to change every 3 days. Okay, if we talk about masks now, like N95, they have to change it even more. For example, 2 or 3 times a day. So we need to track it. So this model is one of the most important. Okay, but we cannot put just only the model that will track the uniform, because we have to integrate it with other part of operational processes in mining company, like security model. Okay, you have to integrate with security systems, like medical record model. So because we have to see that synchronization between with how the uniform the employer uses and his medical record. Also, we have to see that his movements. So, for example, he visited canteen, or he working now on his field. So also training model that we have. For example, we have a new kind of uniform, and we show this how to use it. We have to train employees, and we want to digitalize this process. And also the testing model that we can test the system itself. So if you see all these requirements that I already described, it's quite very complex and a bit complicated system, but it's quite doable, I think. So also how it should be work. We think that if you propose us your software, so it should be integrated with the system of already existing systems of mining companies, like accounting system, like HR system, like security control, and all other systems. But it's not a problem. All these systems, various mining companies have various systems. That's why I didn't mention any of them. But if you send me special request, I can send you details on that. And also, we think that this software that you can propose us, it should have APIs to integrate with, also to have ability to integrate with some future solutions from third-party vendors. Okay, it has to be scalable, so it has to be it has to allow like microservices integration. That's why it has to have microservice architecture. So briefly, that's it. We think regarding time frame, we think that if we see the potential in your proposal, we can settle some details for the task setting. I mean, for 1-2 weeks, then 1 month for presentation of your prototype, for prototyping. So what I mean prototype, it should be our partners in mining companies should see can see in your prototype that they can click, they can see the whole process, your architecture you propose. So that's what I mean prototype. Okay, if we approve the prototype, then okay, we start the pilot process. We can fund the pilot. So to get the first working version, I think it's 1-2 months, not more than 2 months, and for the final version, another 3 months. So briefly, that's it. Please, I'm ready for your questions.
Thanks, Mr. Rashid, for the sharing. We'd like to invite all the attendees and participants to send in your questions. You can use the Q&A button at the bottom to input your questions.
I can add that why we choose mining companies to propose this problem statement, because currently Kazakh mining companies invest a lot into digitalization, optimization, automation, robotization of their operational processes. So, and within 5 to 10 next years, forthcoming years, they are going to invest about 4 to 5 billion USD for their digitalization of their processes. So I think it's quite a good opportunity to propose something.
There's one question. Out of all the deliverables, for example, like the pilot stage and the implementation stage, which ones should ideally be completed before the pitch day?
I think at least you have to show the prototype, because the prototype is crucial in that case. The mining companies has to see how you see the architecture of this solution. That's one of the most important things. So, and during the prototype, it should be clickable. So you click on this, you see the report come to this, and how all this data, you exporting the data, and how this data is, the flows of this data.
Thanks, Mr. Rashid.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, if you have additional questions, send via organizers via email, and I'm ready to answer as soon as possible.
We can just take a while more, 1 to 2 more minutes to wait for the attendees to put in their questions.
Okay, no problem.
Maybe in the meantime, I can ask one. Because the mining industry is like not really common, especially in Singapore, but maybe in Southeast Asian regions. I'm not sure whether are there like existing solution providers that you come across that actually provide such a solution for mining companies specifically.
Sorry, what's the exact question?
Yeah, so I was wondering whether are there existing solution providers, maybe in Kazakhstan or nearby your region, where they develop a solution specifically for the mining industry?
Usually we see that big vendors like SAP, like Oracle, they supply some big platforms for mining companies. But in order to integrate a lot of additional services, now we see that mining companies, they attract a lot of small IT companies in our market, in neighboring markets like Ukraine, like Russian developers. So, and tens, hundreds of small vendors build a lot of additional solutions integrating with like platforms like SAP. So for this specific problem statement that I already described for uniform, I don't know that existing solution that will be the same complex that I already described, all these requirements in one solution.
Thanks, Mr. Rashid. Okay, seems like all of the attendees have understood your presentation, and they are clear about what are the project requirements, and as well as the outlines and the deliverables. So we have not received any other questions. So for those who are interested, and along the way, if you all have any further queries, you can send them to tcc2020@enterprisesg.gov.sg. Yep. So in the
Sorry,
meantime,
we have one question. Does the prototype have to address all the models? Not all. I think at least more than half of the models it should address, yes. Because you have to show the architecture. That's the most important thing.
okay.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Charmaine.
Okay, thanks everyone for being on this session, and thanks Mr. Rashid for your time. Yeah, so a gentle reminder to everyone that the submissions would need to be in by 15 September 2350 Singapore time. Thanks for your attendance today.